All right, so come on in here because this is an affordable fall palette that you need, and the looks are serving. The shadows are amazing. The quality is really nice. The shimmers are shimming. The mattes are matting. I have no complaints, especially from affordable palette. Price point, affordable, quality, great. What do we have to complain about? Let's go ahead and get started. Hey guys, this is Ashley. Welcome on back to my channel. So today I am finally getting the chance to play with the Nudetrals from Cosmic Brushes, okay? And yeah, just kick me right now. Hopefully this will be back in stock soon, okay? Retails for $39, so at a price point like that, you know I had to pick it up. I saw the color story. It came out with the Cool Trolls, and you know I love me a good cool tone palette as well. And this is just so gorgeous and so appropriate for the season we are in now, fall. It's that warm, it's that murky, it's a little grungy, and it is glam. But before I'm carried away, because yeah, I'm already carried away, let me go ahead and introduce myself. If you are new to this channel, welcome. And if you're oldie but goodie, welcome on back. My name is Ashley. I have a doctorate in pharmacy and I love makeup. So that's how you get Dr. Ash and her makeup, but please just call me Ash or Ashley, and eyeshadow is my jam. It is one of my most favorite things to talk about here on my channel. So like I mentioned, I got 3 looks for you today, okay? And the looks were not disappointing. So I kind of changed it up because I feel like we needed a little change up, a little spice up, you know. So I will have my usual kind of like fast forward, but then, you know, we're going to talk about the looks as I do them. I used to do that back in the day, but I realized like I'd be sitting there talking and blending and telling you what shadow I put it on and how like this, now in the crease and the transition, child, and it would be about 20 minutes just doing a doggone eyeshadow look. And I was like, y'all ain't gonna be here for a whole hour for 3 looks. I can't even hold myself that long. So I started kind of doing like the fast forwards, but I kind of want to do a mixture of both because like I said, we need to keep y'all guessing, keep you on your toes, okay? So a few things about the palette, like I did mention, it is out of stock. They do have an email notification. Cosmic Brushes really has been restocking their stuff because it's a need, it's a demand. Their formula is really nice. Now, this is my first real time trying them. I picked up the Winter Wonderland palette last year. It was good, but okay, on my skin complexion, them pastels were a little too ashy. So, but the shimmers were good. Like I said, the lighter mattes, I was like, no, thank you. But for this right here, I've had a lot of fun playing with it. I think I created some very amazing looks. I did have a little trouble with one look, but I'm going to show you how to correct it. And it was just my fault, okay? My fault. Like I said, this retails for $39. This is a UK indie-based brand. So it does come from UK. It can take a little bit longer to come. I feel like the shipping time was like maybe 7 to 10 days, nothing too outrageous. And because there's a lot of times there's such a demand for the palettes, they only limit to 1 palette per order. Not that you're probably picking up multiple palettes, but I just kind of thought that that was interesting because it's like literally right here. It's like in bold, 1 palette per order, okay? And so if you are ordering multiples, it will be kicked out. Okay, so they do also have a warning that dispatch time can take up to 2 weeks. So like I said, 7 to 10 days is kind of what I've experienced. And so the Neutrals palette is going to be characterized as their new 20 shade palette created to combine nudes with neutral colors, making it easy to step out of your comfort zone by adding a wash of colors to your everyday nude looks. I feel like this is a spicy neutral palette. All the looks I've done, spicy neutral, but I can definitely see how you can get pretty nude looks with this particular palette, depending on what shades you're going to go ahead and use and which ones you're using for your shimmers and your standout shades. So you're going to have 12 mattes, 8 metallics, and 2 of these are super shifty multichromes and 1 vibrant duochrome. And it says, who says neutral palettes have to be boring? And I'm finding that more and more true. Like now we're getting the spicy neutral palettes, and I don't mind a spicy neutral. I'm here for a spicy neutral. If you're going to give me a neutral palette, I need something. Okay? So if you want more descriptions about the shadows, you can go head over to the website, which is Cosmic Brushes. They also have the ingredient names. Now, it came with like a little cardboard situation. You know, I can't think of the proper term at the moment, but I can't open anything. Okay, so I had to tear it open to get the palette out, but it basically looked like the palette. The packaging is cardboard, but it's like an elevated cardboard where it's not giving like cheap, but it looks nice. It's fresh. You get a mirror, and I feel like it's a good deal for $39. What more can you ask for? I do have like the little film on my mirror. I like mirrors and palettes, but I'm not like, oh my God, there has to be a mirror. I never like this unless I'm out of town and I just can't see what the heck I'm doing. But usually I have a travel mirror that I can stand up that has a light, but usually this is only like a desperate times measure for me. But I understand why a lot of people like the mirrors in their palettes. Like I said, I feel like it's just executed really nicely. You know, it's really basic, but it's not too basic as far as the packaging. You do have the net weight, which is 22 grams or 0.77 ounces. I was laughing. It used to be a time if you didn't tell people how much the stuff weighed, like they would tear you to shreds, okay? So you do have that is good for 24 months. Once you open it, the packaging is recyclable. And let's see, there are a couple of warnings. It says it's external use only. You can have some irritation with some of the mattes, probably definitely like Desire was a little bit more red depending on how your eye holds up. And it says if you have any irritation, discontinue use. And this is distributed by Cosmic Brushes, and they are Jupiter Business Park, Doncaster, UK. And then they also, like I said, they have more information on their website. They also have some of the ingredients on the back. There are pressed pigments in this particular palette. So, and there's regular eyeshadow ingredients. So, yes. So like I said, I have 3 looks for you. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So you already know the drill. The eyebrows, they're filled in using my Goof Proof Pencil shade 3.75 with the OG primer, which is the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Caffeine. I don't think this is available anymore, but I found it, so I'm going to use it up. But if you want something very similar in texture and in color, I would recommend the Paint Pot by MAC, which is Contemplative State. So let's go ahead and see what we can create. guys, so in love with this look over here. It's giving nice grungy pop vibes. I love this shade over here. I love the color, but first of all, the blend, it ain't blending. It's giving crunchy, but I do really like how this icon shade is showing up very well on me. So let's see, you know, like, what is this? Even if I was to take, so, you know, sometimes the secret to it is grab your makeup wipe, right? And then you just wipe up, pull that little corner up, like, it helps the cause. However, I'm not Dylan. I don't like it. And you know, I don't like a look. I'm gonna come on here and tell you, or we're gonna try to fix it. We're gonna figure it out. I am very impressed about the mustard shade though, because you know, mustard shades on me can just kind of get lost in the sauce, even though I love them so much, but they just be lost. So I'm gonna go in with Classy, which is that medium tone brown. I think like everything is showing up very well. The green right here, gentle, showing up very nicely too, because sometimes when it's a little bit more mossy, it might not show up that well either. But I'm gonna go in with Classy. What song is that? Nasty but Classy. I got City Girls in my head. Birkin bag me. Yeah. I was like, where is that from? Okay, so I went in with both the neutral and yeah, and this is like a blend bunny, a B5, but it's nice and domed and it just works. So we're just going to kind of sweep that on in some circular motions. So what happened was, I think I was trying to make that line super defined. So at first I was going in with this old school MAC brush and it wasn't really fitting in the socket. And then I think I went ahead and took this soft definer and it just made it too harsh, but it made it harsh to the fact that it was kind of like bringing my lid down. And you know, we need to trend upwards, okay? So it's nothing wrong with like having that defined crease, but it was looking a little depressed. It was looking a little cut off. It was looking a little like, you know, you saw it, like the difference between now and then, you know? So I'm gonna go back in with a little bit more neutral. That was like the lighter brown. And I'm just kind of going in circular motions. So now we still have that defined line, but everything is still kind of like pulled up. Now I'm just wiping this brush off. I have like a little towel right here. Going in with Icon, which is our mustard shade. Now we're gonna beef up the mustardiness of it. So, like I have one or two options now. So I'm looking and I'm like, okay, it's looking good. Do I want to pull the shimmer up? Because it also depends on like where your crease is, you know? Do you want to pull it up or do I want to keep it low? Okay, so I'm gonna go in. I definitely use my NYX glitter glue and I got my little flat definer brush going in with Radiant. You know, I love a shade like this. It just kind of has that iridescent with that strong flip. And I'm just bringing it up a little bit more. Okay, so I'm a lot happier now. It's looking good. And then, but I want the outer V rather to be punchier. Going to go back in with Delicate. And sometimes it's all you have to do. Like you can really save a look, but you just got to figure out like, what is not working? What should I have done? And sometimes I think where this comes from, for me personally, especially when filming, like, I don't know. It always kind of seems to be like the color placements are different and everything like that. But I'm trying not to always just do the same shapes. But you know what? You need to do what works, okay? Because your eye shape ain't changing. So you can kind of do the same looks, but you know, sometimes at the end of the day, you still need to like, of course, I want to do different things for you guys, but you know. It's like, but we still need to stay true to what your eye shape is, you know, because otherwise it's just gonna look crazy. So now we're looking good. We're not looking as crunchy. I felt like we were looking like, even though it was like a blended, but yeah, now we're better. We're good. And I'm going to still pop in with a little bit more Icon. I'm really liking this mustard shade. And I'm gonna do like a more of a punching method to get it to pop a little bit more. Yes. But icon did show up pretty well. I'm just gonna punch in a little bit more, even though, because you know, I kind of lost a little bit with it, with putting in the neutral shade, even though I just grabbed a little dab and boom. Okay. And let me tell you something. Looks gorgeous. Mixed it with this. Now it's like that full-on gold shift with the purple. I think I did want to I'm just wiping that same brush off. I just want to go on with a little bit more gentle. Tiny bit more lust. All right, wiping that off because I probably picked up a little bit more than I bargained for. And now just kind of doing circle motions, but like picking it up. All right, let me get off. Let me stop. All right, this is what we got. Liking it. I'll be back to do my face. Put on some lashes and we'll talk about it. All right, I'm back and woo, honey, the looks are serving. They are so pretty, and see what happens when you work through a problem, because I'm telling you, the look was looking, it was just giving crunchy. It was just giving stiff. It didn't blend. It didn't flow. But you can correct the solution. So real quick, let's do the face details. So for foundation, I have a little sample of the Huda Beauty Blur. What is this? Yeah, it's the Easy Blur. So I think I will be participating. So I have the shade Peanut Butter right now, but I have a heavy tan. So I didn't want to have to buy peanut butter and then turn around and probably have to buy cinnamon. So this is the Huda Beauty foundation stick. And this is the shade 440 Gold Cinnamon. So like literally the peanut butter is kind of like the next one up. But as you can see, peanut butter is a solid match, okay? So literally when I walked into the house at Creators or Friends after being out all day, and I was just like, yeah, I got peanut butter on this side. They were like, can't even tell. It's such a perfect match. But like I said, I didn't want to have that shade and have to turn around and get the the cinnamon shade. So yeah, I got a sample, working out well. And it's a beautiful foundation. Huda, she gets it right with these complexion products. So I think I will be participating. I don't have the primer. I don't have the finishing powder. I just have on the foundation. It's fine. I don't even think you need to use the whole trifecta in order to get nice results, okay? So paired it with my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Caramel, because it's kind of like one of my lighter concealers at the moment, just to give me some definition on my face. And of course, I went in with my handy dandy contour stick slash bronzer by the Sephora collection. This is a medium to tan. And then I was like, yes, let me pull out my terracotta blush. So this is by Klarity Cosmetics in the shade Extra Shot Please. Paired it along with Affliated blush. This is the Best Buds. Like, goes with the look so well because it has like that goldish greeny look to it. So this could be like a blush or a blush topper or like a highlight by itself. This is by Menagere Cosmetics. It's been out for quite some time, but one of my favorite products. And for the liner, for the eyes, I went in with a hunter green liner on this side because I thought it would pair well with like the antique gold, you know, shade that we have over here. And then I took my Alkaline pencil by Urban Decay, and I've been loving this because it kind of gives you like just a different alternative to wearing brown, but it gives you that burgundy, but it still looks pretty neutral, but you still have a little pop. Because I feel like brown doesn't look bad, but it just doesn't pop like this on me. So with this, it works. Now, The pop on the eyes, I am loving these brown lashes because they're so fun and so flirty. Like, it's dramatic, but it's not too dramatic. It's kind of soft. It blends in very well with the looks. And these are by Decay. And I literally just put them in on Amazon and said, look up brown lashes. I want to say Ardell had some, but if you're a lighter skin complexion or if you're a fairer individual, you know, the brown lashes, they will probably look really nice with your hair. They're going to get blended really nice without looking always so stark, especially if you just want to wear lashes without like any other eyeshadow. And like I said, they're pretty flared as you can see, but because they're brown and a little bit softer, they just work out so well. So like I said, these are by Decay, and these are just brown lashes, cat eye. Yep. And let's see, the lip. Love the lip. This is like such a me lip combo, but I feel like you guys never quite see it a lot because I end up doing like my little mauve tone because there's always so much going on for my eyes. And this is the Tang lip liner in the shade Coral. Super staple. I need to figure out, is this still available? Like, because let's see, like if I was to ever run out of that, but you had to buy it in a set. As I sit here and try to Google and figure out, let's see, because watch, I would have to find like, you know, like a little replacement for that sucker. I'll have to find me to do. But right now I use it all the time, but I think we got, oh, we got plenty. We got, oh, okay. And I've used this for a couple years. Okay. Come on. We're still doing well. Okay. So I did pair that with my Kaleidos Cosmetics. This is the lip, what is this? The Lip Clouds in the shade Terra. Such a bomb color combination. I feel like if you put on the liner a little bit deeper, then it's going to be a little bit more orangey. And then sometimes if I don't put on the liner so much, then it's a little bit more like terracotta, a little bit more brownie. Does that make sense? Okay. But overall, I really like how the looks came out. Of course, I went ahead and used my glitter glue to adhere these shadows, especially like a shadow like this one right here where it has a white base. And I just love those type of shadows all over the lid. I know a lot of times people are just like, they put them in a corner for that little extra pop, but that is the shade Radiant. But I love a good shadow like that with that orange flip, the white base. I'm into it. Okay. Now the shade, let's see, Luxe, really beautiful shade, that greeny antique gold shift paired along with this kind of like yellow gold. It's a good yellow gold. It's not so yellow that it's just like stark on your complexion, but it has a good base to it. And really love how the blend of that pair with the purple shadow and the grungy green. I felt like these little lighter shades, they worked out well on my skin complexion. That you were able to kind of like blend them back and forth, but I feel like the blending, the padding, the blending and the padding really worked out well, just kind of going back and forth and amping up the color. I'm a cereal blender, so just work with me, as you can see right here. But I really like how we were able to save this eye because it was just looking unacceptable. Like, how long y'all been watching this channel, or if you're new to this channel, it's unacceptable. Like, y'all would have been like, Ashley, you just don't care, huh? Like, you just gonna let that little crunchy looks like, I mean, that would be like a, oh, I just didn't have time to work it out and I need to get out the door to go to work, but I would still be mad. Like, you know what I mean? But okay, so really like the mustard shade, the shade Icon. I feel like it really popped, really just, you can tell that it's mustard on my skin complexion. Even when I'm looking in the viewfinder, I'm like, okay, you could tell it's a hint of mustard. That sometimes is very hard to achieve on my skin complexion, especially when I'm so tan. I have a lot of yellow and red in my skin complexion and gold tones, okay? Now the browns pair very nicely. You get the differentiated color. They look like different browns. You got a little bit warmer here. You go a little bit deeper here, and they blend out well. So the shadows were not stiff. I think sometimes this is like my first time really using cosmic brushes. Okay, I have the Winter Wonderland palette, but because there was so many pastels in that palette, I just kind of gravitated towards the deeper shades because some of those pastels, they were just too white base and it gave the ash. Okay, now we have the deeper shade right here. So all of that just kind of contoured the eye really nicely, and then popping in with this as a little inner corner highlight, and then this across the lids. I think the shadows look really nice. They just kind of lay flat, and it's just a seamless blended look. So it's really nice because this palette is not that expensive. But let's go ahead and jump into one more look, because let me tell you something. This little fiery red desire shade, you already know, it's got to get on the lids. All right, so I'll be right back. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I figured I'd talk you through this look. I used to do that a lot in the beginning, but I started shutting up because I talk too long or I talk too much. I'm going to go in with the shade Tease, and you know, the videos just got long. So I'm just going to pop this back and forth into the crease, but I feel like I need to switch it up a hair, you know, talk about some of the things. And I think it's kind of valuable when you're just blending out these shades. So I'm also a serial blender, like I said. So, you know, I could be sitting here blending forever. So right now, I really like the tone of this. It's kind of like a cool tone brown, kind of taupey. It has a hint of green in there, but definitely different than the shade that was right next to the Tease. So that's like popping on really nice. Once again, my eyes are primed with that Urban Decay Primer Potion. Yeah, and I'm just going in. And sometimes, honestly, I just like to use the same brush. I just been wiping it off. I have that Blend Bunny brush. It's like the Dome Blending brush, and it is the B5. Now, I'm still going to pop back in with the shade Lust right here. It is just a beautiful aubergine color, screams fall. And I'm just going to like pack this onto my outer V area. And I'm going to drag it down. And I'm just like putting it down and picking it up in like little motions like that. So I'm kind of blending as I pack the color on and gonna drag it out. And that is just, it's blending on very nicely. I'm really impressed by these shadows because I feel like it doesn't cost a lot of money to make, and, or the palette doesn't cost a lot, but you know, you're getting some really nice colors. And I'm just kind of taking that up and blending it into the green. Now it's pretty much where I want it to be. It doesn't look too splotchy. Sometimes you have to be careful right in here. And that's just because like I have a little hooded eye. So a lot of times you'll see me go right over there a couple times. And that's because I need to make sure to shadow here and shadow like where you see the hood. Now I'm going to go in with Timeless. And I am going to deepen that up. I think I'm going to switch out brushes. I'm going to go to the brush that I used in the beginning. And I'm just going to take a little because I just want to keep it right up in here. So sometimes you need to switch out your brushes. If you don't want to have color everywhere, switch it out. You see that made it deeper, darker, smokier, without like distorting the color. Like it's still like, that's purple. You know what I mean? And that's what we want. Okay, so on this side of the eye, I'm like treading lightly because this is my 6th look for today. I did take an eye break. I like ate dinner. But what did I film with earlier today? What did I film with? So sad. Oh, I filmed with the Glaminatrix, Barely Basic. I was like, it's kind of same color stories. Okay. But I can't figure it out. What it was. All right, and I pulled that up a little bit higher, so I'm going to go back in with a little bit more Tease in order to just kind of correct where I got a little too aubergine on the outer V. And then once again, I'm just going to pop in with that black and do the deepening. No, so you can see my eyelid over there just trying to betray me. Yeah, and I had to put down some extra primer to make it work. All right, so I'm pretty much happy how this looks. I think it looks very good. I'm just going to buff over here to make sure it kind of looks like what this side is going on. Like I said, I am a serial blender, okay? Like, I want things to be blended at all times. And I'm just going to pop back in with Tease and just kind of beef it up right up in there. Now that side might look a tiny bit more green because I did kind of pop in with Gentle by accident. Gentle is this shade. My brush landed in there, so I just evened it out on both sides. But I think we're good. So now I'm going to pick up my NYX glitter glue, of course, okay, because you know she's bae, she's best friend, okay. Cue up Brandy, don't know where I ever be without you, and that's for real, okay. From the beginning to the end. right beside me, so I call you my best friend. And mine is creeping out through the side, okay? So the glitter glue is super affordable. It's like $6. Six, probably with inflation, 7, 8, maybe 9. Who knows? It's cheaper than getting like the Too Faced glitter glue. I know a lot of people use like the Pixie Epoxy. Some people just spray the shadows. So my skin is dry, but I find that my eyelids are not too dry, okay? So definitely going in with Desire. Yes, okay? Little Fire and Desire. Little Rick James, okay? Yes. She's beautiful. And I'm just putting it on with my finger. So I am a finger girly. I did not used to be a finger girly. Okay? You couldn't convince me to use my dang on finger to apply shadows. But I found that with these shades that, you know, the shades that just look so slippery, so shiny, and you can tell because like, look at how the pan looks, okay? It's just very smooth. You don't see a bunch of crumbles. Like you see this one's more texturized. And that's true. Like this one might need a glitter glue. This one might not as much because it has a little bit more texture. This is giving more metallic versus this one is like, it's metallic, but it definitely has that slippery shade to it. If you feel it's super smooth, a lot of times you will need a NYX glitter glue or some type of adherent to get it to stay down on your lid. That is beautiful. Freaking beautiful, okay? Now, because I got to be extra and I like to layer, I'm going in with Tender, and I like to show you guys as many shades as I can. This is what Tender looks like. I'm going to pop that here and then kind of just bridge the gap. But yeah, I did not used to. So if you gotta use a brush, I recommend things like the Reference 02. It will normally pick up shadows like that. I used to waste so much time trying to pick up shadows. And let me tell you something. It just wouldn't work. It would not work. And I'd be so frustrated and I'd be trying to get my stuff to work out. And I find that a lot of times I can get my application good. And that's when I usually go in with my flat definer brush by Sonia G, because now I can just go and fix the shape. And this does pick it up well, but it's like, it just works for smaller spaces. Like I wouldn't be trying to put, and even if it was like a brush like this, I don't even know if it would go for the whole, what's the name? Okay. Okay, I'm not going to take Radiant because you see Radiant, remember, it pulled very gold over here. Even though it has a white base and it might seem like it's going to be a little bit more sparkle, it's just going to look like this. And I want you to see different colors. So I'm going to take Luxe, and I do have a little glitter glue down here, and pop it here. Boom. Yes. There we go. Okay, I think we did that rather quick because now I know how to do this versus when I first started YouTube. I'd be on here talking forever. I'd be like, shut up. Only been for 9 minutes and part of it I can cut out. Okay, I'm proud of myself. All right, so now I'm just gonna do a little beefing up. And a lot of times I just do this because when I'm sitting here looking at my eyeball and I'm like looking at it with it up, with my, straight on, I'm like, how are the shades falling within my crease and in my folds? I want things to be lifted and up. So I am very happy with how this looks. It's very pretty. It's very smoky. It's very fiery. I'm going to finish this up. I'll be right back. And I'm going to change my camera battery. Yeah, we're going to do that. All right, be right back. All right, I am back, and here is the third and final look in its entirety. So I just added on my lashes, and then I went ahead with that same pencil, which is the Alkaline pencil by Urban Decay. And yes, it's the pencil. It's the same thing. I don't know what I was trying to say there. So I did go ahead and change out my lip because I felt like it was a little bit too orange for the eyeshadow look I had going on here because this shadow is so bright. So I didn't want to take away from the moment with that shade. So I just actually popped on, this is the shade Ganache by Fashion Fair. And it's a very comfortable lipstick. And I don't have to wear a lip liner with it. Like I could, but I feel like I don't need to. You know what I mean? It's one of those shades like it works and it works, you know what I mean? So of course I went ahead and used my same lashes, the brown lashes I talked about before. So I love the way this look came out. It was so easy to create, and I think I will kind of talk through a couple more things now, you know, so just let me know, like, down below. Do you want me to talk through the looks? Do you want me to just kind of do the fast forward play? But I feel like we need to mix it up a little bit, okay? Versus just me just speeding through and talking about it at the end, because sometimes you can just get my thoughts right then and there, even though I have been known to stop and be like, cut time out when things are not working. And I always want to be there to like show how I correct my mistakes or how I'm feeling in real time. I'm like, this ain't working, or this shadow ain't working, or it's just plain on me. And so I want to say definitely with the first look, it was just me, because I was able to kind of go ahead and correct that. And that's what it's about, because that's how you learn, and that's how you get better, and that's how you enjoy what you like as your makeup aesthetic. But I'm very pleased at how this look came out. I think that this palette is super gorgeous. Now, one thing I thought about when I was doing this look and I was off camera, I was like, for me, I don't know if I necessarily needed this palette. Am I mad about the palette? No, it's $39. Really wanted to try it. Really thought it was beautiful. But I pulled out two palettes that kind of, especially this shade right here, which is the star of the show. But the caveat is, the two palettes I'm about to show you are more expensive than the Cosmic brushes. Fortunately, Cosmic brushes is out of stock right now, but they'll bring it back. Just hit the notify me, you know, when available. The price is super right. But I have Groovy Garden right here by Inslee Rain Cosmetics. This palette was around probably 60, 70 mark. You know, you get code, but their shipping is pretty expensive. So I know I paid a strong 80 something dollars for this particular palette. But I pulled it out because you have the shade Lava Lamp. Okay, so if you have this in your collection, not quite sure if you need this palette, because you do have a green, you have the Lava Lamp, you have the lighter green that we kind of popped in there. You do have some burgundies right here, and you kind of have a little bit deeper dark shade right here. That's the black. Now you don't have like a purple shimmer compared to like the one in the Cosmic brushes, but you do have this one. But I feel like we can all agree that the star of the show is this particular shade right here, Lava Lamp. So just going to do a little swatch of Lava Lamp. As you can see, I think this one might be a tiny bit more fiery. So we're going to place Lava Lamp right there. Ooh, okay. Now, a second palette that I thought of that definitely has to start a show in. If you have it, if you don't, because this brand is a little bit newer, I do really like this. It's the Kryptein Cosmetics Burnt Forest, but it definitely has the star of the show shade in there, and it's going to be called Wildfire. Boom, right here. Now we got a black like we did in Cosmic brushes. We do have a mossier green, really like. We don't have any purple shades, but like I said, you get the star of the show, and you do kind of have that green right there that you could pop in the inner corner. But we're going to go ahead and take Wildfire. So now we have Wildfire. So they kind of look the same. Definitely Lava Lamp is punchier, more red, a little bit more vibrant. Wildfire, still very vibrant, still very sparkly, a lot of shine to it. But as you can see, it's a hair lighter. And now let's pick up the one in Cosmic brushes, the palette that we're working with today. And that is Desire. Got my Rick James and Tina Marie reference, Fire and Desire. So here we have there. So I feel like it's going to kind of be on par with the Kryptein one. Oh, actually, okay. So as you can see, the one from Cosmic brushes, it's a little bit duller than the third one. So we have Cosmic brushes, Kryptein Cosmetics, Inslee Rain. But the overall, it's going to be the same. So of course the Inslee is definitely reading darker, but it's definitely going to give the same vibe. So if you're just looking for something with like that particular color, I feel like it looks beautiful in the eyes. It's very, like, it's laying seamlessly, you know what I mean? But it definitely is like a little bit duller down than the Inslee and the Kryptein. But the Inslee is just brighter in nature per se. But I definitely feel like if you want these vibes and you're into this price point, and the Inslee price point and the Kryptein Cosmetics price point is for you, the Kryptein runs around 50 something dollars. They have been having like free shipping out of China. Takes a little bit longer. Cosmic brushes is in the UK. Takes about a week or so. You do have to kind of usually pay, but it's a less expensive product. Do I feel like the quality is bad on it? Absolutely not. I feel like the quality is amazing. Plus, between this particular palette and the Kryptein and what is this, Movie Garden, this is a little bit more neutral, okay? Of course, we have the Fiery Pop shade, which is Desire, but you do have some more inherently nude shades like here, 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 you know, kind of like a little mauve-y moment right here. You don't necessarily have a mauve matte. You kind of have this, but that's very light, and then your deepest shade here. So I did feel like you have a lot of different looks that you can kind of go with. You're really kind of staying in the browns and the greens, mustards, and then the aubergine. I really appreciate the aubergine because a lot of times dark brown is not my favorite go-to shade as far as the outer crease. I really appreciate an aubergine shade, so I really like it. So unfortunately, like I said, the palette is sold out, but just go ahead and put notify me when available. If you were thinking about it, I would definitely go ahead and try it. I really like the formula. It was very easy to work with. Like I said, this is my first real time trying cosmic brushes because I do have the Winter Wonderland palette. I never got a chance to film with it. I did like the multi-chrome shades that were in there, but a lot of the palette was very pastel, and with those pastels, it was too much white base versus just like being a lighter shade. So when you blend it out, you got a lot of ash. So I love this. So let me know which looks you guys like the best. I love the third and final look, and I also love the second look also so much with this little green shade all over the lid with the gold. It was just a moment, but all three looks were just gorgeous. So this is definitely a palette I'll be pulling out for the fall. So let me know down below, okay? Leave me a comment, give me a big old thumbs up, hit the notification bell so you know when I come out with another video, which will be soon, and subscribe to my channel because you know I would love to have you here in my little makeup family, and we are trying to grow. So tell your friends, okay? Send the link, tell your friends, tell your friends to tell a friend because we are trying to make this thing happen over here at Dr. Ash and her makeup. But with all of that being said, you already know what time it is. It's time for the chair dance, hey, 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 chair dance. Chair dance, hey. All right, y'all. Bye.